Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So particularly bullish price action at the moment. As you can see, we came all the way, well, we broke through this level of resistance, catapulted straight up to the next level of resistance. Barely pulled back at all, barely consolidated for any long period of time at all, and then have managed to break through into the next range, obviously, so above this next area of resistance, and then attempting to close in on a next level. So let's say we get a good CPI print and we break through this 23,500. That is going to be in like the past few days, or say call it the past week. We've actually broken through, we would have broken through 3 levels of pretty important resistance whilst in an overall macro downtrend. So to break 3 levels to the upside whilst in a macro downtrend, that'll be pretty impressive. Obviously it's not happened yet, we've only broken through 2. We've got CPI coming out today, and it's obviously going to be a market defining move. Anything better than the market is expecting, then clearly it's going to be a nice risk on rally. If we do get a bad number, it could be pretty catastrophic if we get a bad read, just on the basis that stock markets appear to be priced in a good number. And this is pretty impressive for stocks also. I mean, there was not really much in the way of resistance between here and practically where we are, pretty much where we are now. So we have just rallied to the next level. So this is good. If we get a pullback, we would hope we don't come all the way down to this support. If we do come all the way down to the support and get supported there, that wouldn't look that bad, because that obviously would be a higher low relative to this low here. But yeah, we wouldn't want to get so deep. What realistically we want is a good read today, break above into this next area, and then potentially at some point pull back, test this old resistance as new support, and then blast onwards and upwards past this high. So that is obviously the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is we just get a bad print, and then all these gains probably get wiped out in one candle. 1 4-hour candle, and we just get absolutely obliterated. So it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. 107 handle for the DXY, nice to see. No real important levels of support, I guess, until we start getting to around like the high 106s, then obviously this 105.5. 10-year though still looking strong, but I do suspect it can break this trend line and come down at some point, and then we could see sub 3% 10-year, which obviously the market would like as well in that scenario. Oil having a bit of a pump, not the worst thing though, obviously not the greatest thing for inflation. However, we're still considerably far away from where we've been, but it obviously is indicating a potentially better economy. That's kind of what maybe getting signaled here. Although the US, which has been dumping its SPR, basically is stopping, I think, at the end of October, which is next month, September, October. Yeah, so stopping in October. So we could see more just sustained upward momentum in oil prices once they stop basically dumping their reserves. What else should we look at? Yeah, Bitcoin dominance still onwards and upwards, from obviously support to resistance. So this is it. This is where we actually want to basically come back down from here. We don't want to be breaking above here. Obviously, a lot of it is off the back of this Ethereum move. I do get it. I do get the sell before the event rather than sell after the event. Rather than buy the rumor, sell the fact. People are going to de-risk by getting out of Ethereum, because there is obviously a non-zero probability of a catastrophic failure of the merge, and that could cause incredible problems and bearish price action for Ethereum. So just people to be dumping Ethereum and going into Bitcoin, going into the actual event, and then assuming the event is a success, assuming it is, and it all goes nice and smoothly, then they can power back into Ethereum onwards and onwards and upwards, and straight to obviously past these highs and upwards. So yeah, like I potentially been looking at, is going to be a buy the event. In my opinion, buy the actual event, providing it's successful, rather than a sell the event. Even if it is a buy or sell before the event, whatever happens before, ultimately there's risk involved, and then if it goes smoothly, that risk then becomes negated and doesn't need to be priced in. And it's obviously a big risk, even if it's potentially a low percentage risk. Ethereum obviously struggling, dollar is struggling into this resistance, which is another reason why you kind of could have expected Bitcoin to perform, because, well, it's just been going through its resistances more easily. But yeah, if we do get back above here, get above this resistance, and then take this one out, then we are looking extremely good for obviously lows, highs, higher lows, and then obviously higher highs, which indicates an upward trend. And the trend is your friend. So we'll have a quick look at stochastic, but honestly, we're waiting for CPI now. We've had a big move. We know that higher time frames are looking better. Shorter time frames are obviously getting extended. So yeah, 4 hour clearly a bit extended here, but still pointing up nonetheless. 12 hour getting a bit extended, looking to roll over. Daily extended, but still pointing up. And then we get to the good ones, the good reads. 2 day looking good, lots of room to run. Same for 3 day. 5 day looking to turn back up as well. Weekly turning up from low levels also when it decides to load. Yeah, turning up. Sorry, not turning up from low levels. Has already turned up, pulled back down, and now turning back up. And then bi-weekly is moving up from a low level, and then there's our monthly. Once we get this monthly turn up as well, I think it's going to look very good for a move to 30k and then potentially breaking it. That would be ideal. So yeah, stochastics overall looking pretty good. But yeah, like I said, gotta wait to see what happens today. We could easily, very easily, if we got a higher than expected read for inflation, seeing as the market appears to be pricing a lower than expected read, it seems, and front running that number. I know the White House came and basically telegraphed it, and they went last time they did that saying it was going to be high, it actually was higher. So maybe there is a reason for people to listen to what the White House has telegraphed leaks of CPI. So maybe it is just going to come in as good, and that's why the market is rallying off that. But if it doesn't, like I said, these gains can immediately evaporate, and we could find ourselves straight back at 20,000 and then trending lower. We could easily see stock markets coming back down towards 4,000, and then obviously trending lower. So yeah, there's risk. It is a gamble, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens. Leading indicators for inflation are suggesting a lower number, so everything is pointing towards it, including market price action, which is probably just a result of everything pointing towards a good number. So let's just keep our fingers and toes crossed for that. Good CPI. Let's hope the merge goes for okay, and then yeah, maybe we can start to turn a corner on this. Maybe things can start to look better, even if it's just for crypto, or even more specifically just for Ethereum. We shall see. But yeah, that is about it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.